Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Diary of a Property Pro. We are going to cover off hurricanes, false dawns, whatever they may be. Is the market changing for the better and will it last? And if it does, how long will it last? Estate agents and those horrible things a buyer needs to hear. Closing dates. Stop them. You're putting your clients in a hole. We can solve their problem. Just quit it. We know the game. You've been called out. You know who you are. The power of developing relationships with your agents and the people that you're involved in that buying process. We're going to cover some more little tales from the 2007-2008 crash. So without further ado, let's dive right in.
What are you doing Saturday?
George has got a game. He's got a football game at 10 o'clock. Oh, he's done well at the weekend. Want to see that?
Good on him, man. I need to come and watch him.
He was fucking shattered. I'd love it. I'm going to go in and help.
You're not much of a football guy. You can just clap and say well done, son.
I was running down the pitch. It's funny, the wee things, like I said this in my podcast yesterday. We're down with, I always go early with George and let it come over warm up. And I do a bit of like power of suggestion and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't know it. Like, and I'm saying, right, look, like, I just want you to imagine this, right? He doesn't need to close his eyes at the start of this. So just close your eyes. Imagine that every single time that you kick that ball, you're getting better, you're improving, you're learning this game. And once upon a time, you couldn't walk, right? You couldn't go to the toilet. You wished to wear a nappy, right? And now you're a fucking flying machine. You're a learning machine.
Solid.
So every single thing that you do, you're picking up skills all the time. Every tackle you make, every time you see the ball, every time that you get a pass, you're going to just notice the space. You're just going to feel the right thing to do because you're a learning machine, right? You've never learned bigger or faster or smarter than you do now, and you're only getting better. Yeah. We'll do a countdown. So I used to say, like, right, you know, that's you ready. So you're going to go into this and you're primed, your mind's ready. And I'll count back from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I do this thing so I know that it's clicked in. He just puts his right hand up. I don't think you've said him, right, put your hand up. Now he just knows that's the thing to do. And that's in his mind now. And then he goes out and thrashes it.
I think in football, like, you need a good coach as well to coach you mentally through. It's just like property as well. Like,
it's true.
Be coached right. I think, like, yes, there is like homegrown talent out there who's just fucking got it.
Yeah.
And they're good at what they do, but being coached through each part of your football career will make you a better player, 100%.
You look at all the players that have been greats, and all they talk about is the managers that got the best out of them. So like, I wanted to play for him. He knew when to kick me up the arse. He knew when to put an arm around me. He knew how to hit all the buttons.
Yeah. I was the worst for that, man. I didn't listen. I was fucking brutal. Like, I was great. I was good at football. Like, really, really talented at what I'd done. But I just wanted to go out and do my own thing. I never listened, and I was lazy. Even my dad said it as well. Like, he's professional, and he's like, just fucking too lazy. You'll not make it. And I'm like, nah, I'll be sound, man. I'll be good.
I can see that. I can see that. I see it in you now.
I'll be sound, man. I was good, and I done really well, but I could have been well better.
Ricardo says that. He says he wouldn't be here today if he fucking screwed the nut. Aye. He would have been a professional football player.
Wanted to earn the property.
What
about a better career?
I've been fucking left with him.
All good, mate. What you thinking now? Update the market.
Well, you came away with some news about it changing up.
Aye, I sent you some stuff over there, so as well regarding down values. A lot of people are getting them now.
I've seen that as well.
It's more and more common now.
Seen one today that, I don't know if you've heard of this. The surveyor had commented from the lender, not the normal surveyors, the home reports.
Yep.
The lender's valuer had said that there was not enough demand for owner occupiers in the area. You heard of that one?
No.
So the comment was that if they repossessed the house, that there wouldn't have been enough demand to sell it to someone who would have wanted to live in it. It would have needed to be sold to an investor. Remember I said to you about lending conditions tightening up? Another fucking mic drop moment for Geo. Like, and it's like I say this, I don't want to be right about all this stuff because it's a shift and it's a change. And we want it to be great and we want it to be glorious. right? But it's the rhythm of the market. The rhythm of the market is not always great. There's going to be times where there's downturns. There's going to be times where it's not as buoyant as it is or it was. So they're to be expected. And it's just like we mentioned in the last episode. Mm-hmm. It's about spotting those. It's about spotting those signs. Remember, I told you about what to do if you never had a mentor. You would go and work. You would be like the expert of your property prices in your street.
Yeah.
Right. And then you would know. You would feel. That looks like then. Because you're the expert on what happened for the last 30 years in that street. You know how to feel the texture. A bit like, blind people read, they feel Braille. Yeah. And they're like, that's, I can feel that letter. That's A, that's R, that's T. They're like, I can feel that. Well, doing that is how I feel the market. I'm like, that's like this, that's like, I can sense what's going on. That's how I build the picture of what's up. And it's this sort of thing that, you don't want to be right about it because it's like saying to somebody else, like, I know we're out at the picnic and it's a great sunny day, but there's a thunderstorm coming in.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to know that.
Yeah.
But like, it's the difference between should we get packed up and get in the car and out this weather, or do we just want to wait until we get blown away with the weather?
Yeah. I think in some parts you're saying about the storm coming. In some parts, you can see it, like down values. Like, getting a lot of people are doing the BRR strategy, the freezing, whatever you want to call it. And obviously they're trying to get these higher values, and they're just not happening. I've actually got one coming next Wednesday, so I hope it doesn't happen to me.
Like, so for the uninitiated that don't know what
that's
is.
one part of it, right? But on the other side, like, I'm out there, I'm in the game, buying properties for investors, viewing loads of properties. I'm speaking to a lot of agents, and it's fucking flying now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, maybe a good few months ago, you're like, I start to slow down. I'm getting properties at home reporting under now. Over the past kind of month, 4, 5, 6 weeks, it feels as if it's back to properties are going off the market straight away. There's hundreds of viewers. There's people bidding for them now, closing dates again. You're paying maybe a wee bit over to try and get a decent property in a decent area now. So I'm like, great, storm coming. When fuck's the storm coming?
Right. What do you think? Do you think it's changing?
I thought that a couple of weeks ago. Well, a couple of months ago, I thought that things are starting to change now, but it's started to go again.
Right.
This would be good
Ever
for
been
the
in a
viewers.
hurricane?
No. Can't say I have.
We were in the Dominican Republic and it was hurricane season. Watched a hurricane coming in over the water. So there was 2 hurricanes, one passed over the island. No, it wasn't particularly strong. A fucking hurricane all the same. But in terms of like the storm. So it came in over the water. I watched it come in. I was fascinated because I'd never seen a hurricane. It's like you speak to somebody in the Caribbean, they've never seen snow. They're like, what's it like?
Even a hurricane would move you, mate. You just stand there.
I'm out there like, show me. I'm like Lieutenant Dan. Is that all you've got? Show me more. So,
I could picture that.
I'd be like, I'll go out in it.
It's like they're on that bike in the pain cave, man.
Yes. ripping bike parts to shreds. I will, people are like, how are you braking? Last night I said to them, I broke my bike.
I see that.
Like, how did you manage to rip the bottom bracket off you? Like, you've literally tore apart a bottom bracket. Yeah. Like, well, if you need to break bike parts so you're not pushing hard enough. I broke the jockey wheel last week. I broke the cleats.
Must cost you a fortune in bike parts.
That's why people go like, why have you got so many bikes? And I'm like, well, because
keep breaking them.
I've currently got 3 that need repaired. So I need a spare.
Instead of repairing them, just buy a new one.
So I've got a spare somewhere. So I've got a spare. So one in paint, one needing a part, one needing a bottom bracket. So I was like, well, at least I've got something to ride. So like back to the hurricane. The hurricane came in and it was battering outside. As you can imagine, high winds, rain was going sideways. I mean, literally, the rain was going across the way. It was horizontal. And we were in the hotel. And the hotel was built for this kind of weather because it's in a hurricane spot. And then it all died down. It's like, eerily silent, because imagine the wind rushing, the rain. You're like, whoa. You're paying attention because you're like utterly focused on this environment. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, so that was something else. So like, it's not done. What do you mean? So that's the eye of the storm. Then I waited, but you would have thought that's it finished. You'd have doubted that it was the change. The next thing, and it all comes back, and whoosh, another round two. And then it was only then that they went, right, that's it, done. Well, this is what it's like. There's a false dawn, which is what investors call it, what traders call it, is a false dawn, which is, oh, it looks like sunlight's going to break through, and it's not. It's just a mirage. I go back to 2007, 2008. I was involved in the market. Like Smyth, I categorically knew, like, batten down the hatches, hurricanes coming, right, type of property approach. Meanwhile, people are passing me in the bikini and the sun cream, like, whoa, yeah. I'm like, what? Like, oh, hot to trot, man, property. I'm like, what? I was like, whoa. I was like, I'm going back in, and they're like, there was still people going out, and this is what it looks like to me. It's the false dawn. Because what you need to remember is there's a part of the property cycle is a big long cycle, but there's also a mini cycle that's the seasonal cycle. So like what you have is you get people that have throughout the year, the steady flow, and then it drops off at Christmas time. So nobody wants to move at Christmas. And then after Christmas, it starts to pick back up. And when you get that property's a slow burn, so it's not like January the 4th, everybody's like, whoa, we're rushing in to do it. You know, the bills come due at January, people are paying off the credit card bills, they're starting to get back to normal, and then they're like, hey, look, you remember we spoke about moving, and then it picks up, and then you get this like little, like, whoo, this lift, and that's where we're right there. We're in February, March where that happens. And you can see it's just like a natural flow. So it would die off at Christmas and then it would flow up. There's a similar one in the stock market, which is actually based on when all the investors get paid their bonus.
Right.
So they get paid their bonus, and you know, right, that's bonus time.
Yeah.
They get paid so much money that actually fluctuates the market.
Yeah.
Because they are cashing out. They cash out the stocks or things that they held, or they're taking positions, they're liquidating positions because they want to get paid. Yeah. The bonuses are worked out at the end of every year. So they're like, right, we want to get out of our positions so we can register that to get our commissions. And it's a thing. So seasonality is a thing. And I think what we're seeing is that seasonality looks like, or maybe it looks like the eye of the storm.
Yeah.
It's like, no. There's that. We've seen the first wave, and the seasonality's created the eye, and then there's the next bit coming in.
You've got these estate agents that are clinching to the guts for closing dates again.
Fucking closing.
It's going to a closing date. Like, fuck off, man.
So you know what? Right. See,
I don't even get involved in them anymore.
There, right. I'm talking directly to you, right? You will get much more credibility from the movers and players in the game that you're involved in if you do not say this. Well, the client wants to put it to the closing date. Don't talk pish. Right? Do us a favour. Do not pish up my back and tell me it's raining. You advise your client on what to do with the property. No client comes to you and goes, hey, I've got a property to sell. Can I put it to a closing date? Do not talk pish. Right? You're talking pish. We know you're talking pish. Do us a favour and just say, look, for my client, I want to put it to a closing date because I want to squeeze as much as possible out, and then we can conduct a normal conversation without the need of this sort of dance of lies and bollocks. Bullshit. Right. Slight rant. I'll get off my soapbox and we'll get back to the pod.
see, Fab is an estate agent, but and I knew, obviously, you know your stuff and you know what's fucking coming. You would think to yourself, right, I am not going to piss off these investors who are going to continuously buy. And the people that are actually buying just now are going to fade away. Yep. I'm going to say to myself, right, I'm going to speak to my client and say that these are the, I would rather sell to this person because I don't think this person will be able to get lending, etc., etc. And then you're not pissing off us as well because we're always going to be there.
Yep.
You're always going to be buying. You're going to be coming to us soon.
Yep.
You see it with some estate agents.
You get good agents. I mean, you do get.
Aye,
really
some
good
of them are
agents.
really good. I mean, a guy called Kevin, up kind of Livingston Bathgate area. Really good guy, and I've only bought a couple off him. And he's showing me an R1 tomorrow, but he's coming to me and he knows what's happening.
Yep.
He'll probably be saying to himself, "Listen, I could probably get 5k over here, sell it to some random who wants to move into the area." But he's coming to me before the fucking home report's even done. He said, "I've got a property here. Here's the pictures. Out taking pictures all day. Do you want to come and have a look at it before it goes on the market?" Because he knows that we've got solid investors there who can get lending, no bother, and we're always going to be around. So he's kind of getting people like me to come on board, you know what I mean, for when the fucking storm happens.
Regardless of whether you're an estate agent or what industry you're in, see if you're providing something that there's multiple parties, you want to build relationships with those multiple parties. Mate.
It's key.
Like, so the parties would be, if you're an estate agent, your sellers, your buyers, your mortgage brokers, your solicitors, possibly even your surveyors. You want to get a bit of a small network, like a closer network than normal, where you're helping each other, right? And one of the other things is that I think it's myopia. So for anybody, and I had to look up myopia, this isn't having a go at anybody's vocabulary, but I think a myopia is a really good word, because myopic means short-sighted.
Yeah.
And I think myopic's a better word because it means that you're being short-sighted rather than you are short-sighted. So myopic means that you're just not seeing you've got too close a view, and you're not really seeing what's up next. And a lot of it will come down to how estate agents are paid. So they're paid on a percentage of a lot of them. You pay 1 or 1.5 or sometimes 1.95, depending on how much of a rip off the agent is. Yeah. You'll pay a percentage of the sale price. So they're naturally inclined to get a higher sale price. You know, and one of the things you could say to them is, like, the difference between getting 100,000 and 105,000 is a tiny relative percentage in terms of what you get paid.
The long-term effect. Yeah,
and you've got the long-term relationships in terms of buyers, but what they might argue is, well, we want to achieve the highest possible price for our client. Right? And that's a good argument if it's a case of every buyer goes through and sticks, right? But you ask any agent who hasn't joined these dots together, not every buyer goes through and sticks. Yep. So what you can say is you are alienating you're putting two things happen, two problems happen, right? Is that you push a price on a closing date. Then what happens is the seller goes, they're trusting you because that's why they came to you to sell the house. You get an above home report offer. Now the buyer believes that's what they'll get. They've already spent it. We'll get a fucking extension. We'll get the new house. But let's get a car. Let's get a cruise. We got the agent got us more than what we asked for. But inevitably what happens a lot of the time, not all of the time, but it does happen frequently, that sale doesn't stick.
Yeah.
Then what happens is the agent needs to come back to the previous people that inquired. But you've set the expectation with the buyer, saying, hey, look, we're going to get you this. The buyer's fucking spent that money because you told them that's what they're going to get. But then you come back to the buyers and they go, well, you know, we're not going to pay that. Yeah. And then you need to go back after setting the expectation, and then you've got the delay, you've got the expectation, you've got the added hassle that, you know, it disrupts the chain. You could have avoided all that if you says, look, we've got
a solid buyer here.
We've got a solid buyer that's ready to move in this and we can do it. And this is the thing, that they're too myopic. They're, you know, let's squeeze as much as we possibly can. You know, we're paid on commission and we just want to get the highest price because that's the best for everyone. Right? That would be the best for everyone if every sale went through. Right? But in reality, it's not quite as black and white as that. In reality, it's more like, it depends.
Some of the problems that people get as well, but see when they're saying, oh yeah, I'll pay 10, 15, 20k over home report, they think they're going to get the lending on that full amount. What they fucking don't know is they're only getting lending on the home report value. Anything extra they need to pay cash or sale. And when it comes to doing all the getting the solicitors and mortgage brokers involved, and it's 2 or 3, 4 weeks down the line, they go, well, by the way, you've got £30,000 to pay here cash. You're like, what? What did you mean?
Yep.
They've not got it, so it falls through, and you're going like.
I'll give you an example of one that I had the other day. One of the investors had messaged and says, look, you know, this is what the lawyers sent through. So it's at the stage of conveyancing. It's past estate agents. It's past Like, you know, it's with lawyers ready to do the closing bit. The lawyers sent a list of things like, this has been spotted on the home report, you know, this is in a flood area and so on. Now, because I've said to the investor, right, look, this is what you're buying and this is what to expect, he's primed for that. He knows what he's getting involved in.
Yeah.
You imagine that what that solicitor going to a, you know, first or second time buyer, we need to pull out.
Aye.
You know, we need to pull out. And it's like, well, this is when you find investors when they're primed properly, because the person they've went to knows their job, they know what they're doing.
It's back to the fake it to make it thing.
They know, they've got the knowledge. Like, you're going there and not all player twos are created equal. You go to someone, you go, right, look, I need your skill to work this out for me, right? And you've been there, done it, got the t-shirt, the track record, and you know what you're doing.
Yeah. And
you go, look, we've got this covered. That gives confidence. That confidence is something that makes people feel settled. When you feel settled, you don't get disruptions.
Yeah. I mean, there's no excuse in Scotland anyway. If you're buying in Scotland, you've got a fucking home report. So not only is it important to know what you're doing, know the area, and know any issues that can occur, you've got a home report to work off as well. So if you read that correctly, you'll know of any issues like damp, etc., that can cause issues with lending, as you know. A lot of lenders will want a damp report before they'll lend on the property. So if that's not in place by the time, because they don't pull all this stuff up till the last week or the last few days, and they go, right, you've got a damp report? I'm like, no. Yep. You know what I mean? So you need to have all
How
this
many
stuff
people can't even read the home report properly?
I know, it's crazy.
Like,
it's so simple.
Even when you were learning, like, there was like, here's the things, you know, what's the roof made out of? Yeah. What proportion is how much is a flat roof? What construction type is it? Yeah. Is it a standard construction? Is it a non-standard construction? Is it a defective build?
Concrete, steel.
People go, well, what does that mean? Right, what it means is there's many different, not houses are built the same way.
A lot of lenders are not going near any like steel. Well, you've got your high street lender if you're buying to live in the property, that's not a problem. But if you're buying for an investment or buy to let, holiday let, etc., there's probably next to no lenders out there that will lend on like the steel stuff and that. The non-standard, there is certain construction types that they'll lend on. One called no fines concrete construction, you can get lending on that, but most of the rest of them not touch. And obviously, if you've got a 2 or a 3 on the damp, and even if there's like a condensation or anything like that, they'll put a 2 there. You need to get a damp report done before the lender will lend on it as well. So that can set you back big time. And then a lot of the people that are actually selling the property to you, if that gets pulled up in the last week and they're going, oh yes, it's complete next week, they'll probably not hold off because of the issues. They'll go and put it back in the market, and then you can lose out in the deal, etc. So you've got to know what you're doing. You've got to know how to be able to read the home report right. And it all comes down to don't try and bullshit, you know what I mean? Learn the industry.
That's a good one to add into the course.
Yeah, definitely.
How you need to read the home report.
Yeah, not just read the home report, as I said, but you've got to know what you're doing. You've got to know all these different parts, like, as I said, construction type, can you get lending on that? Will that hold up the sale? The damp reports, etc. So
how many times have you went out and went to do a refurb and you've unearthed something else?
Just last week.
Like, just how often week. Is it? But it's regular.
Yeah, I mean, this is another thing that didn't get noted in the home report. So Property and Earth, for a good client, Ed, he listens to the podcast. He's did a bit of
shout
issues.
Out to you, Ed. Well done.
Good lad, Ed. So bought a property up Earth for him. Guys went out to rip out the kitchen, Gareth and the boys. Ripped the floor up, and it was full of woodworm. Put your fist through the floorboards, everything. So it's an extra £1,000 on the refurb that didn't account for, but it's something that's unforeseen. Yep. You've got to be prepared for stuff like this as well. You've got to have the right teams in place.
It shows that, like, it doesn't matter how many you've done, something always crops up.
Unforeseen issues, you know. Even the surveyor hadn't picked it up because the floor's down, the kitchen's in. There's no issues with the walls or anything like that. It's just underneath. It's been eaten away. But what you'll get as well is you'll get people who haven't got the experience to know this stuff, and they'll just go, oh, fuck it, they'll just put a new floor down. It's issues it up further down the line when the property's up and running as a buy-to-let or a serviced accommodation. So luckily, we've got these guys in place now It goes back to one of the first episodes we've done, not being experienced in these kind of avenues and your property investing. It's not just about buying the property, it's about getting the right teams in place. Obviously, Gareth and the guys and the joiners, I can trust him to go out and go, right, they've lifted that floor. First thing they've seen is this issue, which is the woodworm, which is definitely a no-no, because if that eats away, that could cause serious issue to somebody. So they've noticed that and they've sent us through pictures and what to do and the price, and we can get it straight to the client so it doesn't hold the job up, you know.
So like, to the uninitiated that don't know what woodworm is, what should they watch out for? So
it's like wee speckles are the black dots on the wood, and when you touch the wood, you can actually just pull it apart or put your finger right through it or your hammer right through it. So it's not good. Like,
if you want to imagine what woodworm looks like, the one that always stands out to me is it looks like if you had a dartboard and you threw darts at the darts on the wall. So it's a larvae that goes in and eats through the wood, and it plants its I don't know if you call it larvae, whatever, its eggs. It plants its eggs in and they hatch and they feed off the wood, and that process weakens the wood because there's lots and lots of tiny holes, and eventually the wood, and particularly a problem in structural timbers, is that then can cause a problem with weakness and deflection in the floor. And if left unchecked, it becomes a serious issue. The way to actually treat it is to treat the timbers, but in some of the older houses don't have the treatments. This is the woodworm would go in and feast on the wood.
Yep. And it's you can catch it early as well.
You catch it early,
yeah,
and treat it.
You can spray it with the chemicals, but if it's too far ahead,
that
just
one
needs
sounds
replaced.
like it was gubbed because
it was gubbed. Like he said, even the longer timbers that were holding the floor up, that you could crunch it with your hand.
Yep.
I can't believe that's still standing.
Yep.
So again, lucky we've got the guys in place who know their stuff, and we got it sorted. And again, if you've got investors that we bring on, like they trust us as well, we know we're not bullshitting them because we know our stuff. Like, so it was an easy fix. Like, just get the price, get it to the investment, and he's done. And that's it.
The good thing is like, see when you speak about, and this is what I mean, like we touched on it in the last episode, like, yeah, it's just this, and it's amazing, and look, you know, we're going to get this deal done by like 9:30, and we're going to be Nando's by 10, and we're going to go down by lunchtime, we're going to go down to Flannels, and we're going to get a new rig out for tomorrow's video, and if you want to like
rent a Lamborghini,
we're going to hire a, you know, the sports car. Fucking hell. And it's
don't get me wrong, I fucking like nice stuff, right? I've got a nice house, I've got nice cars, I like going to holiday, but I didn't get it fucking just like that. You need to work for it. You know what I mean? It doesn't just come. You need to put the work in. You need to fucking be mentored right. You need to put the work in. You need to be able to go through the ups and downs, you know? So
this is the thing, is like, how many times have I done a video that's in a van?
I know.
Like
everybody always says to me, he's like, why does Geo drive a van? Like, he's got a Lambo and a Porsche. He drives a van, he's like, that's just the way he is.
It's like, because like, I don't want you to pay attention to the V10 engine that's in the background or the 93,000 miles of roof space that I've got when the roof's down. I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I want you to listen to what I'm saying, right? And I want you to listen that I'm by choice doing this in a van, right? Because that's my approach.
Yep.
My approach is work. It doesn't matter how much money you've got. Work like the day that you were the most hungriest and wanted to get after it, and you're looking to collect that wisdom. See, the toys are just a distraction. Like, if you want to go out and you want to showboat, cool. Like, I get that there's an appeal for that. I get there's an appeal. I bet I could get way more views in my videos if I just was like, right, let me do a video in the Lambo. Let me do it in the Lambo, and let me just switch cars and do it in the Porsche. Like, just sort of showboat the lifestyle about it a bit. And it's like, nah. Yep. I'm like, look, I want you listening to what I'm saying and think about, right, look, it's about going out there and getting after it, because the reason that I was able to get these toys was because of what I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this now, and if you want the toys, remember to be humble enough to drive a van, pick up the tools, pick up the brush, go and see a job, get your hands dirty, get involved. Like, how many times you spoke about it? Like, go in and get dirty and know everything all the way through, because then you become an expert.
Do it yourself first. There was something that's always stuck in my head for years and years ago. What you said to me is like, chase a fiver down the street.
Yeah.
And it's always stuck in my head. See, when I think I'm getting too big-headed for myself like that. Like, I need to bring myself back. It's great having this good stuff and stuff like that, and having the nice cars, and you've done well, and you've got the house of your dreams for your family.
Yeah.
Just don't forget if fucking what you need to do and who you need to be. Like chase fiver down the street. Wake up every morning as if you've got fuck all. Get after it, you know. And sometimes I'm get too complacent, sit back and think I've made it, but you just reality check and get yourself back into shape, you know.
But the thing is like, see if you, I mean, one of the things that I seen back in 07, 08 was that like I seen a lot of the flash, like a lot, and it was Range Rover Sports were just out, so you can imagine, like, the wife's just got the boobs done, I've got the Range Rover, you know, I'm the big type Billy, you know, I'm just the big swinging dick. Like I seen it all, like the flash. I mean, like Range Rovers were getting, money was getting spent.
Yes.
And
like now.
It's the same. It's the exact same. It's the exact same. It's like I can see it. Like it's like a replay.
If you can fucking afford it, get it. But if you can't,
right, but this is the thing: is like all these people I thought it's like the beach. They're like, hey, there's fucking sun's going to be shining every day. I'm like, there's a fucking storm brewing, and they're like, it's cool. Like, get it, man. It's like, just get it. Like, live for today, man. What are you worried about? Like, fucking look the clock. Look.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to be negative or I'm like, there's a fucking huge thunderstorm. Do I want to be here in a pair of fucking shorts holding my dick? No. I think we better get out of the way.
Yeah, definitely.
And then this is what I mean is you go, nah, look, go when it's high time, go out and be big time. Go out and go for it. Right? But play to what the conditions are. Don't be naive to think the conditions now are just going to continue on forever. No. And this is what I'm saying is like the flash was there in 07, 08. And this is what I'm saying, 07, the cracks, this was Northern Rock. Everyone was waiting outside. We need to lift the money. Like, it was mainstream media news, right? There's something fucking up in the financial system. In the bank that were lending money on mortgages at 125%, don't have enough money to pay their customers, or that's what the perception was. That was what the story was. It wasn't quite like that. We'll leave that for another time because it's a bit more of a sophisticated and intricate conversation. Suffice to say, there was a problem in 07. And this fucking market kept ripping until summer 08. Like, just kept ripping. And I'm like, right, whoa. Like, Northern Rock isn't the only ones that are doing it. Everybody's doing it. It's like time to rein this in. But the Range Rovers, the wife getting the new tits, you know, fucking let's go, you know, Caribbean cruise, it's just really complacent. And it's like, see all the people that are flash, like their identity's attached to this flash lifestyle now. So you can imagine what it's like if you can't flash and the money isn't as apparent and there isn't as much money going around and you're not doing the deals or you're not buying the properties and there's been loads of down values and your hasn't worked out and you've got a property up your pipe. Yeah. Right. And they're going like, I don't know what to do. It's like, well, because you first of all, you ignored all the signs, right? You were willfully naive in this thing that you're involved in. And I would say that I had a lot to learn at that point in time. So I'm you know, glass houses and throw stones.
Did you ever get caught out with anything?
No.
Because you know, like,
but more intuitively,
even when you weren't as high level as you are now, like every time you fucked up and you say, "Oh fuck!"
I bought a couple of shiters that went right up my arse. I bought
the ones you sent to me.
no, they weren't that bad. No, I bought some stuff that I was like, "Fuck!" I managed to get out of them. Like I didn't financially lose my, you know, my shirt. But
biggest thing you got out of it was learning.
Exactly. Like I paid attention. I was like, oh, you know when you see, you know when you fuck up.
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
You know when you fuck. you know what I mean. Like you know when you fuck up and you get out it with the skin of your teeth, but it gave you a fright.
Yeah.
And you went, that could have been way worse. You got away with it, but the feeling was, oh, I'll not be doing that again soon.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean. Fuck ups will happen. Good. As long as you have that approach, you're like, oh, we were lucky there.
Yeah.
But other things like, you know, the flash bit was the bit that always stuck with me because, then I wasn't these guys that had cash were throwing around money that I didn't have. Like I was hungry and you're getting starting to get my teeth stuck into it.
And saving.
I was probably a really, like, I was a well advanced player too, but I wasn't like, you know, super caked with cash, and I certainly had aspirations to be a player for. I knew where I wanted to be.
Yeah,
I wasn't quite there yet. Like, I was a really advanced player too. I was starting to get some money. I was like really high on knowledge, and the money was starting to come in. So, you know, even if I wanted to partake in the flash, it would have been, you know, HP and ticking everything up, like finance and things. I was like, nah, I'm probably better playing this a bit smart. I had that humility, but I was like what the cost to have this flash isn't going to, you know, doesn't match the actual cost to do it, even if I was lured. And I was like, nah, I'm going to back off. And it was Smyth. It was the fucking over the cliff.
Yeah.
And like, this thing is, you start to see the house repossessions, the car repossessions, you know, and it was days before like social media, so like, there wasn't as much an attachment. You would just hear stuff, and it would be like, oh, I remember so and so, and they were like big time in property, and now they're like, what, you know,
back working as
you know, doing deliveries, or they're, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, look, nothing wrong with that at all. But and there was people that gave it a go and it didn't work out, but the ones that were mentioned weren't the ones that were like, hey, look, you had a crack, and it didn't work out. The ones that were mentioned was, mind that flash cunt. Remember him that was fucking like shoving it in everybody's face? Oh, you guess what he's doing now? It was that, you know, the type of conversation.
100%.
And that's when I'm like, right, look, just measure it. And but the other side of that is, you know, I remember when I bought my first Rolex, and I made like, when I get to this point, I would love to own a Rolex, but I need to achieve this. And when I do, that's going to be my reward. That's going to be my marker. That's going to be it's not all or nothing either way.
Yeah.
I think somewhere in the middle is good. I think somewhere in the middle is like really, really clever.
I set yourself a target, like,
have a goal, set yourself a target, and work towards it, and reward yourself when you do well. And it doesn't need to be financial. It can be any number of things. But that reward must mean something to you. So like all the watches I've had, I still keep that very first one because of what it means. And I'm like, that was the wee marker where I was like, fucking, that was a reward, kid. You done all right.
Good on you, man.
You know, and that meant a lot to me, because it's like, these are the things where you go, I bought the missus a ring, and I bought myself a watch. And that was my like your wee tip of the hat. Like,
the thing is, like, the back. You getting to that point wasn't just you, like, it's her as well. Her being about, you know what I mean? If it wasn't, everybody always says to me, like, oh, your wife does work. Like, she fucking does work. Maybe it doesn't work for somebody, but she works because she looks after everyone else in the background for me while I can do what I want to do.
You've no idea how important support is. Like, someone that backs your dreams, someone that believes in you, someone that's there for you, someone that sees you when, you know, it isn't going well, someone that sees what you do.
By you, man, all the time.
Like Stace always says, she's like, I don't know if Lorna says the same for you, but she's like, people don't see how hard you work. She's like, I see you sitting at 11 o'clock at night reading.
All the time.
Who does that on a fucking Friday night at 11
and
o'clock?
The thing is, like, you're like, because you've got a good wife, man, she'll sit back and let you do it because she knows where it's going to end up, you know?
And there was times like when I was starting out, like, she would be like, she wouldn't get it because we were young. Like, we were young. Like, we got together when I was 21. We were like a young couple, so she still had that, like, I don't really like get what you're doing. Like, she had belief, but there was like well, everyone else is doing this and we can't do it because you're sacrificing it because you want to do this. And it was these sacrifices that there was a wee bit of that. I don't really get it. And it was when those sacrifices started to pay off, she was like, oh,
that's why.
Like, I get it. And that's not just sacrifices that I made, there was sacrifices that she made, because there'd be things where she was like, well, I would like to do this, and like, you're not prepared to do it because you're not prepared to spend the money or the time to go and do these things just for the sake of like hedonistic enjoyment, you know, live for today. You've got a plan for tomorrow. And it's when she went through these sacrifices as well. They
pick you up as well. Like, even if you think to yourself, what's the fuck's the point in this? Going through the stage of like just starting out when I was doing it, sitting your head between your legs saying like, this fucking fucked up again, what's the point in this? And going like, just keep going. Having that support behind you is fucking priceless.
And that's what I mean, is like they say behind every successful man's is a woman, and it's true. Like, you know, I'm a big fan in getting the wife out and like saying, look, go out and be you, take some time to be, you know, stay, you know, you're no mum, you're no the wife, just go out and be you. So I'll like push her to go and do things, and I'll be like, right, go for it, like go out with your pals, get away for a weekend, that sort of stuff.
I'm the same.
And she's, you know, half an hour the fucking house is chaos, and like, how does she do all this stuff?
I know it's mad.
How does she keep, you know, and it's that
I'm lucky because
like,
I've got her and I've also got 2 dads. Got you as well. So
I don't fucking know. Well, you talk to him and say, look, I don't think he's coming to you enough. I think he's coming to you enough. I seem to be getting a lot of the dad joke, the dad questions.
I don't do it as much now.
Busting my arse.
Don't do it as much now. I try and crack on.
Oh, yeah, it was good that you got there.
Aye.
So we hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Diary of a Property Pro, a little fireside chat with myself and William going into all the highs and lows of the property market. We started off this one discussing, is the market changing for the better, or is it a false dawn? We explained about what the hurricane was like when I was in the Dominican Republic, and the wise heads there, the people that lived there were like, hey, hold off. They knew what was coming. It was the eye of the storm. And we recount the 2007-2008 crash with Northern Rock, where we explain what happened and why some people were too busy, distracted with the flash, and they wanted to be told that everything was going to continue, and they ended up going off the cliff. So, some wise words of wisdom from the experienced heads. Don't go too balls deep. Pay attention to the market. Pay attention to what's going on. Remember, we've got a property community. If you want to get involved, come and join us. The info is in the show notes, or the link is in the bio. So come and visit us. Come and join the property community. We're going to be doing weekly calls where you can get involved and you get cutting edge info from myself and William, where we will tell you what is going on, hands on the ground, at the cutting edge. We've got all the information out there to help you soak up the knowledge that you need to rapidly get from player 1 to player 4. We've got a property education course. Come and check it out if you want to level up your skill set, whether you're just starting out or you're a player 4 looking for that edge to take you to the next level. It's got you covered. All the details are on our website. Follow us if you like this no BS, straight shoot, straight chat. Follow us for some more. We'll be posting up some content. We think you'll like it. From us this week, that's a wrap.